Turning 40 doesn't mean you suddenly become fragile. You're still strong, capable, and probably smarter about your health than you were in your 20s. But, and it's a big but, you're not invincible. There are some exercises you've probably been doing for years that, after 40, quietly betray you. And if you're not careful, they can leave you with a $15,000 0-cents hospital bill and a shoulder that clicks like an old typewriter. That's right. Today, we're talking about 11 exercises every man over 40 should avoid, because your body deserves better than chronic pain and surgical repairs. And before you go thinking this is fear-mongering, this isn't about avoiding exercise. It's about avoiding stupid exercise. Let's dive in. You ever watch a guy in his 40s walk into a gym and do heavy upright rows like he's trying to summon a shoulder impingement? Yeah, that's one of the first red flags. See, the shoulder joint is one of the most delicate, mobile joints in the human body. And upright rows, especially done with a narrow grip, jam the rotator cuff tendons right up into the acromion like they're trying to escape your body. This leads to inflammation, impingement, and, if you're really stubborn, a rotator cuff tear. That's surgery, months of rehab, thousands of dollars, and guess what? You could have just skipped that ego lift and done lateral raises properly. Now, let's talk about another silent killer of the over 40 crowd, behind the neck presses. This used to be the go-to for bodybuilders in the 80s, back when everyone thought smoking was healthy and leotards were a fashion statement. The problem here is not that overhead pressing is bad, it's that going behind the neck puts your shoulders in a hyper-external rotation that most men over 40 simply aren't flexible enough to handle anymore. Even if you feel fine doing them now, your joints are silently tallying up every rep, and that bill will come due, trust me. And speaking of spinal nightmares, we need to talk about heavy barbell back squats, especially the ego lifting, max effort, let me impress the young guys kind. Now, I'm not saying squats are bad, they're amazing when done with control and proper mobility. But here's the truth, if you've got a desk job, tight hips, and lower back pain that flares up when you sneeze, you probably don't have the lumbar stability to be stacking 300 pounds on your spine. And when that disc slips, oh, hello MRI, hello lumbar fusion. So what do you do instead? Goblet squats, split squats, safety bar squats, movements that work with your body, not against it. But let's shift gears a bit, because this next one might surprise you. Kipping pull-ups. Unless you're training for the CrossFit Games, and even then, maybe stop. This jerky, momentum-based movement is asking for labrum damage. Your shoulders, already dealing with 40+ years of wear and tear, don't need to be flung around like a rag doll. Stick with controlled, full-range pull-ups or assisted versions if you're building back strength. Your tendons will thank you. Now here's an exercise that makes every orthopedic surgeon rub their hands together like they're about to buy a new boat. Leg extensions. Seems harmless, right? Sit on a machine, extend your knees, feel the burn. But the problem is the unnatural stress it puts on your knees, especially your patella tendons and ACL. If you've had even minor knee issues in your life, leg extensions are like poking the bear. And after 40, that bear gets angrier. If you want to train your quads without playing Russian roulette with your knees, go for step-ups or Bulgarian split squats. Still with me? Good. Now let's bring up deadlifts from the floor. Yeah, I can hear the bros already. Deadlifts are the king of all lifts. Sure, if you've got great mobility, impeccable form, and a spine that hasn't already absorbed 4 decades of gravity and stress. But here's the truth. Most men over 40 have tight hamstrings, anterior pelvic tilt, and not enough core activation. That means every time you rip that bar off the ground, you're risking a herniated disc. Instead, try Romanian deadlifts or trap bar deadlifts. Less strain, more control, and you still build serious strength. Alright, time for a controversial one, burpees. Now before the cardio fanatics come at me, yes, burpees torch calories, but they also torch your joints if you're not careful. The rapid drop to the floor, explosive push-up and jump combo is a coordination and impact minefield for older knees, wrists, and shoulders. Unless you've kept your mobility and conditioning sharp, burpees can quickly turn into chiropractor appointments. Not exactly the fitness progress you were hoping for. Let's not forget behind the neck lat pull downs. They sound intense, they look hardcore, but in reality, they're just an invitation to cervical spine compression and shoulder damage. Just like behind the neck presses, this movement puts your shoulders into an awkward external rotation and forces your head forward like a turtle in danger. Do standard front lat pull downs instead. Same gains, none of the risk. Here's another one that's often overlooked: weighted side bends. You've seen the guy holding a 45-pound plate and leaning side to side like a metronome. What's the goal here? Shredded obliques? Hate to break it to you, but all you're doing is compressing your spine while training your waist to grow outward. Not exactly the V taper most guys want. And again, spinal discs don't love that lateral torque. So if you're doing side bends to trim the waistline, don't. There are far more effective, safer ways to work the core, like planks, wood choppers, or anti-rotation movements. Now let's talk about pistol squats. They look cool, they show off balance and mobility, but for most guys over 40, they're just an ACL injury waiting to happen. One wrong lean forward, one unbalanced drop, and your knee joint folds like a cheap chair. There's no shame in modifying. Stick with lunges or assisted single leg movements. You don't get bonus points for dramatic falls. And finally, this one may sting a little, box jumps. Explosive? Yes. Functional? Sure. But the risk to reward ratio for men over 40 is steep, especially if you're tired, tight, or wearing shoes that should have been retired in 2012. Miss that box by even an inch and you're looking at a torn Achilles, bruised shins, or worse, a total knee blowout. There are safer ways to train explosiveness: sled pushes, jump rope, med ball throws, things that don't require you to leap like a kangaroo on pre-workout. So what's the takeaway here? You're not fragile, you're not broken, but your body does change with age. Testosterone declines, recovery slows, tendons stiffen, and joints accumulate micro damage. That doesn't mean you stop training, it means you train smarter. Every exercise we've covered today isn't inherently evil. In fact, some of them are incredibly effective for younger lifters, pro athletes, or guys with exceptional mobility and technique. But if you're a regular man over 40 who just wants to stay strong, mobile, and injury-free, these are the moves that can quietly wreck your body and send you down the road to surgery. And nobody wants to spend $15,000 0 cents on a rotator cuff repair that could have been avoided with a better training plan. Instead of chasing the exercises you used to do, focus on the movements that help you move well today and 10 years from now. Train with intention. Respect your joints. Make recovery your secret weapon. Because strength after 40 isn't about beating your body into submission. It's about building a foundation that lasts. And that is priceless. If you found this helpful, hit that like button. If your gym buddy needs to see this before his next behind the neck press, send it to him. And if you want more smart, age-proof fitness advice, subscribe for more. Stay strong, stay smart, and remember, lifting heavy is great, but lifting forever is better. Catch you in the next one.